What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami. Today I have 5 narrated games and 1 long video for you, perfect for binge watching. There's chapters for each game, so feel free to skip around if it's a video you're not really liking. But let's kick it off with this game on Aberfell, where we played with Herringstone and Down East, where I was very locked in with the Longsword. This is what being locked in with the Longsword for an entire match looks like. What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today we completely destroyed this Aberfell match. It was awesome. We're going to be doing our usual relaxing, narrated gameplay, tips and tricks, the whole 9 yards on Aberfell. And we are going to be playing with Herringstone and Down East. Herringstone is a legend of the Chivalry 2 community. I'm going to have his Twitch account linked in the pinned comment. Definitely check him out. And Down East, you guys know Down East. You've seen him in my videos. He's always fun, not taking it too serious. And if you like to get games in with them or me, the Discord is in the description. So let's get into it. So this is a bit of an advanced tip. Now, as we're fighting this madman with the shovel, to sell your feints, ideally, I think you want to be using your footwork along with them. So check out as I back up, as I feint to an overhead, and I think that causes just enough confusion where I landed the hit and finished the fight. Another mistake I made here, so I did not realize I downed my teammate. I was so bloodthirsty that I wasn't very considerate there. And I also, because I didn't notice, this kind of left him there and he died, I think. So when you down someone, even if you can't revive them, because you can get killed in mid-animation doing that, at least fight near them to try and protect them until someone else can revive them or they crawl away. Basically, just be nice to people. I did not remember Smile Kitchen was in this game, and as he always says, we got a nice juicy steak right here. It's an archer, bloody and by himself. It's a nice snack for us, but you'll never guess what happens next. As I said, I'm just completely logged in. I'm not even thinking about healing because I don't want to stop fighting. It's a very arrogant move here because it's definitely going to cost me. Check this out, fellas. We are almost at 1,000 for the Longsword. It's been a long journey, and I'm almost at that max level. It is interesting to see how many times I was able to get away with getting behind the enemy and them not really stopping me and get some easy kills in from flanks, hitting people from the back. I just feel like an unstoppable killing machine throughout most of this game, but you'll never guess what happens next. So now we're off to the stones because we captured the hamlet, and me and Herringstone popped off in this one. Honestly, us together was a little unfair in a pub. It wasn't the sweatiest lobby, but I think this is a great video to see what it looks like when you're just in the zone with this thing, because I've talked in the past about how maybe I don't have the best game consistently beginning to end with the longsword, as I do say the messer, greatsword, weapons like that. But at its peak, when you're locked in, you'll go on like a minute or two where you feel like you activated a cooldown in, say, World of Warcraft, and you just feel like you can't be touched. Axes only get slashing and overheads, spears only get stabs, but longsword kind of combines all of those into one speedy package, and it's just an all-around great weapon. It's my favorite weapon in any game I've played, honestly. So again, more kills from behind here, and I do want to point this out, it's been a few videos since I said it, that if you get kills from behind, guys, you got rewarded for good positioning and they got punished for bad positioning. I see people say this ganking is just cheap or whatever when they're new to the game. If you played this game enough, you know that's the name of the game. That's how you get most of your kills in this. If you want to get in a duel, go to a duel server, but that's not what team objective is. This is a mistake by our teammate who definitely meant well, so no disrespect, but you want to finish that fight. I talked about it earlier. You don't want to revive someone and get you both killed mid-animation. He should have been finishing that fight first, but I mean, he's a default skin. He's new. It's all good. No worries. So as we head to the final stage and see if we can get this done, I would like to request that if you guys are enjoying the video, definitely give it a like or subscribe for future Chivalry 2 content. And if you've been watching for a while and would like to support me as a channel member like Llama, Sauce Codes, Cygnus X1, Big Bro, Smile Kitchen, and K Money, that is also in the description. Let's see if we can kill the druids. So as we get killed, we did open up enough space for someone to get in there and get the kill. Now, I would be curious to hear what you guys think about adding the music to the end of these videos, because I think it gives it a cinematic feel. And if you do like that cinematic feel, check out sometimes you're just in the zone in Chivalry 2, and that's what happened in this Darkforest match, where I had one of the best games we've ever had on the channel at this point, and I still wasn't the best player in the game. More on that in a minute, but what is going on, guys? It's Sean and Salami, and today we had a monster game on Darkforest. This was a Rampage. We're going to be playing with Down East, my Discord father, and we're also going to be playing with the most hated player in the Chivalry 2 community, CK Chimp. Not exactly the nicest or friendliest player to everyone, and after being in voice chat with him, I can confirm he's not misunderstood. He's exactly what you'd think. He's just an asshole. Regardless, he is a top player in the game, there's no doubt there. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we get into this Darkforest game where we went on a rampage. We'll do our relaxing commentary, tips and tricks, the whole 9 yards, all on the way. Hey you, stop doom scrolling Twitter and look on the screen. I'm going to slow-mo this for you. So check out as I backstep here while I'm going for a stab. I'm mid-animation, so I can't dodge or anything. So I start walking backwards as a last resort to avoid his battle axe swing, and it works out. I still have my head. We had already gotten off to a hot start, but now we're starting to heat up. We got a nice flank going with the Longsword. Not typically the weapon you want to be using for a flank like this, but it is fast, so we're getting a lot of hits in. So we are close to level 1000 with the Longsword, by the way, but I do apologize because it's led to a big focus on the Longsword in the videos recently on the channel, like the guide, the montage, even some gameplay videos. I've tried not to use it too much because I knew this was coming. I don't want to use the same weapons all the time, like every single video, otherwise I probably would just use this, the Messer and the Greatsword, but I do want to kind of bang out this last 20 levels I have to get to finally get this to level 1000, as this guy laughs at me. What a troll. Look what happens to him though. He can't fight, so he thought he had backup. Not gonna work. This is a feint I've been using a lot more recently, is a stab into a heavy slash. Now, I mostly do it on vanguards because the slash on the longsword doesn't do a lot of damage, but when you're using it against a vanguard or a kill shot against a knight like I do there, it can set up very nicely because everybody's expecting the stab on this thing. And I've used stab into overhead a ton. I talked about it in the guide. I'll link that in the description, by the way. But it is good to mix it up and learn new attacks. Like, this game just has such a learning curve. You're still learning stuff at level 1000 if you're like me. So definitely something I've been mixing into my repertoire more. I forgot to mention we are also playing with Bring to Ruckus. I'm not going back to edit the beginning because I'm lazy, but if you guys want to get games in with us, the Discord is in the description. I play with pretty much everyone. It's been a lot of fun. There's like 1,000 of us in there now. It's the best thing to come out of content creation. Yeah, so just hit me up if you want to play. Worst that happens is I don't like you and we don't play a second time. I love moments like this, mowing down enemies with your friends. Me and Down East kill a lot of people, but credit to this last guy who's going to take out both of us. Great work by him, but Down East is getting better every time I play with him. Ever since he switched to PC, he's gotten so much better at the game. It's been good to see. You guys always get a kick out of him in the comments, so just thought I'd point that out. They're about to capture the gate, and I'm going to say no to that right now. I come in, clear out a bunch of them with my teammates. It just felt like I was leading the charge this whole time. Again, same exact thing. They're about to capture it. I'm going to die, but I sprinted up here just to see if I can take out a few to delay it a little bit. And I do, because now we're holding it again. I'm in a very bad spot, though, so I do die.
Keep the Mace out of our gatehouse!
So instead of going to get the gatehouse, I notice there's an archer to my right. If there's one thing more important than the objective, it's killing archers. So I go to do that first. Now that causes a little bit of a delay here. So I'm going to start heading over to the gatehouse, and it's not going to be in time. They're going to capture it. So check this out, as I have 35 kills already, so we are on fire. But Chimp has only died twice, and he still has 22 kills. That's what I'm saying. He's a top player in this game, but that's what people get so mad at him about, is he'll go whole games without dying in a row, like multiple games in a row without dying. 2 is a lot for him to already have at this point in the game. And I think that he does have an interesting point about this after talking to him, that it's funny because, like, it's seen as a good thing if you're a berserker and die a lot, when really that's not the optimal strategy. Like, look what I'm doing right here. This is fun, but it's not smart. And he plays his way, and it works really well. I mean, personally, I think that his way of playing is very effective. I just can't lock in for a whole game doing that, and I don't think I have the intelligence to do it anyway. I'll probably do a video with Chimp soon telling his whole story, because at this point in the game's life cycle, I think people are more invested in the community than the whole tips and tricks. Quite a few deaths going on now in rapid succession with not many kills. I don't know what I was doing around this point in the game. Again, I'd say this practically every video at this point, but I'm good for a few of these like autopilot lives a game, and this one is just this middle section. I had a few of them in a row, not just 1 or 2. And at this point in the game, K Money found us, so he got into the game. Love that dude. He's a channel member, and if you'd like to support the channel with a membership, that's in the pinned comment. I shout out the channel members at the end of each video for these gameplay ones, but I'll do it right now for a quick bonus one. It's Llama, Sinless X1, Big Bro, Smile Kitchen, and last, and certainly very least, Sauce Cooks. So after the barricades folded like a cheap chair, we're going to go over to the gate phase now and defend this. It's disappointing that one went so quickly because I could have gotten the 100 kill game potentially. And right now we're in position for VIP somehow, but stay tuned because the VIP phase is going to be a mess. That's all I'll say for now. So we're getting far into my catapults a little bit, and I don't want to just put every single one in because this video is already one of the longest ones we've had in a while. So just forgive me, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I've cut out a few lives of just getting killed by the catapult with no kills, nothing exciting happened. Chim may be a villainous piece of shit, but fighting alongside him is very fun because having that giant spear next to you makes things very easy, especially when he's always clutched with the health packs as well. So despite having an 80 kill game, I'm still in second place. That's just how good Chimp is at this game. He's going to pass VIP though, so I am going to get VIP. And as promised, you're going to see it's a disaster. That's all I'll say. And I do want to let the gameplay breathe, so I wanted to say, if you've enjoyed the video to this point, give it a like. It helps out smaller YouTubers like me a ton. And subscribe for future Chivalry 2 content. And if you'd like to support me as a channel membership like Cygnus X1, K-Money, Llama, Sauce Codes, Big Bro, and Smile Kitchen, that's in the pinned comment. If not, though, you know, I love you guys. You can just watch. It's all good. Keep lurking. But let's see if we can get this VIP done. Now, the one thing I do want to clarify is that wasn't from being cocky or trying to show off I got so aggressive all those points. I was just not really paying enough attention as VIP. I hadn't been this one little bit, and I'm on voice chat with my friends. It's just not a good look regardless, though. I mean, it was a great game, but not a good ending. And the heavy mace might just be the best weapon in Chivalry 2, and in today's video, we're going to defend Galencourt while we break down why. What is going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and I have long maintained that the Messer is the best weapon in Chivalry 2. The reason being because the Messer has great drags and excels on every single attack while having great damage, be it overhead slashes, light drags, heavy drags, excels, it doesn't matter. But the heavy mace is devastating for the same reasons. It has a few drawbacks we're going to get into, but it doesn't matter what attack you're using, the heavy mace has you covered. So the damage numbers are on the screen now. It's a little misleading though. The heavy mace is a blunt weapon. So what this means is it gets 50% more damage against knights. And now here's the damage on the screen now for against knights. And you do get 25% bonus damage against footmen, but the main takeaway here is the damage against knights is crazy because it's the most popular class in the game by far. I would guess that in an average lobby, the amount of vanguards and footmen combine to maybe about as much knights as you'll see. Now, the downside that goes along with all that damage to knights and footmen is that blunt weapons get hit stop. Hit stop is when you can't cleave through enemies. So say you're fighting 2 or 3 opponents, you're not going to be able to hit through them. But overall, hit stop is not really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things when you consider the damage that you're doing. And if you account for it going into fights and remember that you have it, it's not really much to worry about. One thing I should start worrying about is the absolute fuck ton of team damage I do in this game, because this is not cool at all. I am beating the shit out of my teammates. Don't do that. But nevertheless, sit back and enjoy as we defend Galencourt and showcase the heavy mace in a very long game. This one's pretty long. We'll have our tips, tricks, funny moments along the way. It's no secret I need to work on my dueling in 1v1s, and here I'm fighting a Vanguard. And while the heavy mace can obliterate knights with having its blunt damage and quick speed, it's not going to be noticeable against Vanguards. That's when you run into some trouble. But you can tell I'm overthinking that fact here because I'm not really using enough swing manipulation or feints really. It's a lot of just basic attacks. Most of the time when you're in a 1v1, you want to be using swing manipulation on almost every single attack, so be it a drag or excel. But luckily, our teammates are going to come back us up and we're able to get the kill after a pretty annoying fight.
Keep the masons off of our wall!
A lot of people hate on the Longsword because of how much you can gamble with it for a two-hander, and I felt a taste of my own medicine right there when someone did it to me, because as a Longsword main, that's something I typically do if someone's using an overhead-to-overhead feint. So now that they've captured this objective, instead of running out in the open, I'm just going to wait for a forward spawn, and it's on to the defend the ships phase. This part drives me a little crazy. You guys have heard me talk about this if you've been watching the channel for a while. I don't understand where I'm supposed to go, because if I stay at the ships, all my teammates are dying, trying to stop them, and that's a little unfair of me to just stand back. But if I go up here, I'm just going to die anyway, so I don't know. This whole in-between part before they get to the ships when they're up on this like grassy area, I'm not really a fan of it. Oddly enough, after all that complaining, it looks like we're going to survive, but you'll never guess what happens next. During the first phase, a few people disconnected, so the game isn't completely full right now. That'll change, obviously, don't worry. But I think the heavy mace is even more dangerous in situations like that in smaller engagements because of that hit stop we talked about in the beginning. I've noticed in competitive matches, because of the popularity of knights, because it's not a full 32 versus 32, you're going to run into the heavy mace a lot if you do those, and it's infuriating how often you see it. People complain about spears and whatnot, but I don't know. This weapon, I think that's half the reason you don't see me use it as much, because I just get so sick of fighting against it in the higher tier lobby. In my Discord's most recent event, someone even remarked on that when people were complaining about spears, how much more annoying it is to fight the heavy mace, and I totally agree. I've always found spear hate overblown, but hey, that could be the night main in me. But if you'd like to join the Discord, the link is in the description, and we have a lot more events on the way. That's something we plan on doing pretty regularly now. If you've been wanting to get into the Chivalry 2 community, my Discord is the perfect place to start because it's perfect for new players or if you're not taking the game too serious. It's really for the casuals. Awesome stuff in there. Definitely check it out. We also have our own duel yard as well. If you want to get into a duel yard with a similar mindset where it's welcoming to new players or people first learning how to duel, search the Unyielding Duel Yard on the server browser list. But during that whole rant, they did explode the ships, so now it's on to defend the gates. So this is where the heavy mace can fall off a bit, is on these meat grinder type of objectives, because when you do have that hit stop, it makes it a little harder to get multiple kills at once, and you could get you killed when you stop on one enemy and then another hits you that you think you'd usually cleave through. You can get around this, like I said earlier, with heavy swinging, but that leaves you much more open to attack. And it is great fun to just cleave through everybody with the heavy mace, but again, you're going to die a lot if you do that. You will get a lot of kills, but I do highly recommend it because it is fun. I'm not doing it in this match though because I'm trying to showcase the weapon, but just something to keep in mind. So it looked like we would for sure hold them with all these barricades up and the fact that it was down to the final 5 seconds, but they are able to get it. Now check this out right here. I start crawling towards the gate because if you die in the explosion from the objective, most objectives you die like that, it doesn't count for your actual deaths because the game's kind of rewarding you for doing the objective and being on it. Another example is like the Thaic Towers or the exploding tower in Aberfell. So after a few quick deaths, they are able to get the gates, and now it's on to the relics phase. This phase is always so strange to me as well, because they just is automatic, but it's fun nonetheless, because you get together fights in a wide open area. So nothing too crazy going on right now. A good thing you want to do in a phase that's wide open like this, another one that comes to mind is like the Falmire phase 3 with the prisoners, is just go behind people and heavy overhead them, because a lot of times people are just ripe for the picking while they're fighting your teammates in the lobby like this. So you get a lot of free kills that way, just looking around instead of just tunnel visioning on one person. Fun fact, I've never once seen the relics phase held on Galencourt, so now it's on the defend the church phase. Let's see if we can hold them there. I definitely want to go for a heavy swing here when I'm defending the objective, because I'm directly behind them. Even if I am going to get hit, I know the risk going in. However, even with the kills that we do get, they are able to break down the church pretty quickly. So now it comes down to defend Phaedron's tomb phase. Now this is the last one. So I would like to ask, if you're enjoying the video, to please give it a like. And definitely check out the Discord, and channel memberships, if you'd like to support me in that way, are going to be in the pinned comment. Let's see if we can defend the tomb.
I was never so misunderstood.
So in the end, we are able to get the win. Now, I'm a little torn on which one is better between the heavy mace and the messer. The Highland sword is a weapon in Chivalry 2 that definitely exists. What's going on, guys? It's Sean Islami, and today we're using the Highland sword, which is a weapon that it's been requested for a very long time now. One thing Torn Banner has almost always done right is have great weapon balance, and the one exception during Chivalry 2 was the Highland sword, and this thing was ridiculous during the Aberfell update, and I believe like 2 updates after that until they nerfed it. It was crazy. People were setting records, and just it was the worst. I was so glad when they finally made this thing decent but not overpowered. And today we will be attacking Askandir and breaking down the Highland sword as we go, alongside our usual tips, narrated gameplay, the whole 9 yards, and stay tuned for the end when I place the Highland sword in a tier among the weapons. So right here is Dirtiest Ninja. He's the person that got me to use this thing. He is the ugliest character I've ever seen in my life. His character is disgraceful looking. He's one of the longest time friends I've had in this game. If you guys have watched me a while, you've seen people like West and the Kool-Aid Man. Those guys have been around a while, and Ninja's been around just as long. He's an awesome guy. If you'd like to get some games in with him or me, the Discord is in the pinned comment, of course, the Unyielding Discord. We hit 1,000 members, and we plan on doing some events after that. So always good to get games in with you guys, and I play with pretty much everyone, so definitely check that out in the pinned comment if you'd like. What we can see right away with the Highland sword is this thing is slow. It made it feel overall just very, very clunky, because typically when you have such a slow weapon, it comes with great drags. So you'll see me do them a lot regardless, is the heavy overhead drags in particular. But the thing is, guys, that you will get gambled a lot. People just recognize how slow the weapon is and they'll gamble right through it. So overall, after spending some time with the Highland sword, guys, I would say do not go for drags when you're fighting a one-hander or just a fast weapon like the Longsword, for example. And the tips and things being on the screen, some extra editing, that was all universally liked in the last video I did. So we're going to be continuing to do that with some sound cues when they come up. It just helps people pay attention, I guess. I don't really know. I hate over-edited videos, so if you ever come to this channel for like relaxing commentary and stuff, don't worry, we're not going to throw memes on the screen and just have clips interrupt everything. I also worked on some color grading stuff. I'm getting really into the editing, so hopefully the actual gameplay on the screen looks more vibrant than it typically does. This is all stuff that's new to me, so I apologize if I'm going on a little bit of a rant and ramble here. And I'm also working on something pretty ambitious, guys. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think it's the best video I've ever done. Basically, I turned my best game of all time into a movie. I'm so excited for you guys to see it.
Back across the bridge. We nearly had control of this side of the bridge. Push them back. Oh, I'm so sorry.
This isn't necessarily a Highland sword tip, but it is a Vanguard tip. If you notice, I'm playing a lot more cautiously than I typically do as a Knight main. I want to back up and heal as well, but when you're on a bridge objective, this is a good example. You want to be fighting on the outside and not in the very front in the middle. Push forward from the left and right.
because the Highland sword is a weapon I'm not very familiar with, I'm playing way more passive than I usually do. And it's at this point right here, I'm thinking about going deathless because I still haven't died yet. But you'll never guess what happens next. It's been a long time since this guy showed up. The Invisible Man is fighting right here alongside the guy with the falchion and the archer. You can't really see him. Like I said, he's invisible, but I'm landing all these hits on him. I finally bring him down, but the others are able to kill me. Check this out. I mean, it looks like there's footsteps things here, but I don't know if this is hacking or what. I don't know how to feel about this because he's not really bothering anyone. So I guess it's all in good fun. A lot of times when I give tips on positioning, particularly when I'm playing Vanguard, it's kind of like when your parents tell you when you're a kid, do as I say, not as I do. Because I know this is a bad idea and I shouldn't do it. Just don't do that. Do not run into a crowd. Even if I was a knight, it just doesn't matter. There's no reason to run into a bunch of people like that. It's an easy death, easy kill for the other team. You're padding their stats. I just don't understand what I'm thinking in moments like that. It's like a compulsion almost. Something I have a big time problem with is staying consistent from the beginning of a game to the end of a game. And I already can tell looking back, because this video is from a while ago when I recorded it, that I am very angry. I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't like the Highland sword. I'll be objective as possible when I place it in a tier at the end, but the speed is just such a problem. And it's because I'm used to faster weapons, potentially like the Longsword. The Messer is a pretty good speed. It's just, I don't think it's for me.
Completely destroyed. on more pressing terrestrial matters. Enter that library and...
So as we head into the library, today's comment is Shy Shuda is the best Highland sword player and even better YouTuber. And if you guys want to check out his YouTube, it's in the description. He's a great Highland sword player and is starting to get into the content game. Definitely check him out. We always support our friends around here and he's a good friend. As we continue to struggle using the Highland sword, I would ask that if you're enjoying the video to like it, and if you would like to see future Chivalry 2 content, subscribe would mean a lot. I also have a channel membership if you've been watching for a while. That'll be in the description if you'd like to support me in that way. So in terms of actual gameplay and stat lines, this is probably the worst video I've ever had on the channel. But you guys have really wanted to see the Highland sword for a long time, so I'm happy to do it. But if you'd like to see a great game where I had 90 kills with the Longsword, check out the Chivalry 2 movie in the pinned comment. But overall, I'm going to have to place the Highland sword B tier just because it's outclassed by the Greatsword, which is an S tier weapon. If it wasn't for the Greatsword, I would put the Highland sword higher, maybe like A tier. But as it stands now, B tier. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Today we have the highest kill game we've ever had on the channel. Oh, is this Escape from Falmire game my best performance of all time? Absolutely not. But maybe? What is going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today we are carrying a team kicking and screaming through Falmire. And we got outkilled by 200. I'm on attack if you haven't noticed. The defense had 200 more kills than us in the end of the game. I won't spoil if we won or lost. And I had 90 kills. The next closest person on my team had 39. Again, not trying to make this all about stats. It's just trying to paint the picture that this was a brutal game. And I did all I could to get them a win. Now, we are going to die a lot. We died almost 40 times. Part of being a YouTuber is that I have to come up with a sales pitch for the video in the form of the title and thumbnail. So I'm referring to this one as my best worst game of all time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as you see a very inefficient stat line, but a Herculean effort to try and get this win for a very overmatched team. Let's get into it. So we're a few minutes into this video already, and we haven't even broken the second cart, which is automatic. So we're going to break class in case of the emergency, and you know what that means? That's taking out the Messer instead of the Greatsword. Now again, I will be cutting out some of these deaths that don't really contribute to the video. Not too many of them, but 39 of them is a lot. But if you take a look here, look how nobody is even close to that last cart. We're having all kinds of trouble breaking through even a little bit of these guys. Like, they're struggling to even get kills on my team. It's brutal. Unfortunately, not much of no going on right now. It's just dying, and more dying. And as soon as we get behind this guy and got a free easy kill, you'll never guess what happens next. Again, it's tough to even explain that what's going on really, because it's just a lot of just walking in from the spawn wave and being surrounded. There's just nobody even getting close to the objective on my team until this life here. We're starting to make a little bit of progress. I've been making a lot of improvements to get better at using the greatsword, but in the end, the earlier life with the Messer was our best one by far, so we switched to it here, and we're going to stick with it for the rest of the game. Now, this is obviously a one-way ticket to the respawn screen, but we do want to hope that we can get this prisoner cart open and go to the next objective at the very least. And thankfully, just seconds after we respawn, and only with 10 seconds left to go on the objective, one of our teammates is going to finish the job, and it's on to stage number 2. And that sets the tone for what this video is going to be. This match was a lot of me kill carrying and doing the objective. It was just a very uphill battle the entire time. So let's see if we can breach the gates, and we're on to stage number 2. At this point in the video, we have a solid 30 plus seconds of walking and then emoting with someone. Now, I'm not cutting anything out that could be embarrassing, because if you're worried about that, don't worry, later we're going to have a long overdue discussion about why I've gone too far with archers, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But for now, it's on to breach the gates. So while the timer may read 3 minutes, and that may seem like a lot, if you don't know the game that well, it seems like more than enough time. But if you haven't gotten anything planted to this point, and they have walls set up like this, that is not good. We did a great job helping them break through, and they're able to plant one while we're respawning. So with the timer now down to 2 minutes, and a lot of the kills coming down to me, and the team having even more trouble, like look, they've already been repelled, they're already pushed back, there's nobody on that bridge anymore. I'm gonna have to do something I've never done in the 2-year history of this channel. After dying yet again, you're gonna see me do something unprecedented. I have a petard in my hand. I couldn't believe it either, because I'm editing this a few months later. That's how bad it got that I picked up a petard. I would never do that. I actually got my hands dirty for once, and I got killed for it and lost a life for my precious KD. That's why almighty and all-powerful level 1000 deities like me don't do the objective. We let the scrubs like you guys do it. During this push, we're going to fight alongside our team and open up enough space for them to push through even further with a petard. And while we're respawning and heading back, they are able to get the objective done. Great work by the team. I've talked about it before that when you get a team like this that has heart and is really playing hard for the win, you want to get that for them and be that difference. Because at my playtime and my level in this game, jokes aside, I do get a little desensitized to having good games or just a win in general, because it's just, I've seen it all at this point. At this point in the game's life cycle, I'm mostly playing for the individual moments, the content game, of course, and just playing with friends. That's really what it comes down to, is the community. But every now and then you get a game like this where a team makes you really want to grind out for a win, just like when you were first playing again. It reinvigorates you a little bit. Now we look up and there's a spawn wave. But you know what? We're just going to take out as many of them as we can, which will not amount to many of them, but let's go down fighting instead of backing up. So we're continuing to just try and push this last prisoner. This is typically how Falmire goes, I feel like, where you have one prisoner left that takes the longest to get, longer than all the other ones combined. I don't know why that is. It's pretty interesting. But we need that last prisoner, and we have over 3 minutes, just about 4 minutes to get it now. So let's see if we can get that done. I'm healing up here because I'm thinking about pushing that cage with as many of them as I can, or do it by myself if I have to and get a few hits on. Basically, I want to stay alive as long as possible, knowing I'm not going to be seeing a bandage crate again. Again, nothing is working. We're even going from behind now, trying to get a flank from the back, which doesn't typically work. There's a few of us here, though. You get stopped. They do the right thing and keep going towards the cage while I'm just being destroyed in this 1v1. I don't know what I'm doing. I have a one-hander. A good tip for you here is to do exactly the opposite of everything you saw me do in that duel. Don't do those things, and you should be okay. But regardless, our teammates are able to get the objective done, and now we have to capture the bridge. And I've had a lot of Falmire games similar to this end on the bridge because the team does not have the killing power to win those TDM type of objectives. If you're going for maximum kills after taking a forward spawn, immediately turn around and start trying to kill all the stragglers that are trying to go towards the bridge, because there'll definitely be a few masons that miss the forward spawn, and they're just free kills. But I know that this bridge is going to be the hardest one to capture, like I said. So I start sprinting to the other side because I want the pressure to be on the other team immediately. Okay, so here, this is clearly an accident that I get killed by a teammate's javelin, and I'm going to vote kick him. We're going to talk about Archer hatred because I think I've gone a little too far with it. This video was recorded about a month ago, and that's before I did a little bit of self-reflecting, and I think the Archer hatred has gone a little too far on this channel because it gets a little bit crazy when I make a channel on the Discord called Archer Hating and people start team killing them for no reason, and I've been guilty of that when like provoked. I'll team kill an Archer. There's no reason for that, guys. It's a class in a video game. There's no reason to just start shit with people over a class they pick in a video game. Now, I still will make jokes about it. I'm still gonna like meme about it, but I'm done trying to take the game so serious and to such an insane degree that I don't play with people over a class they pick. It got pretty crazy because I don't know. This is a little off script. I didn't plan to write this, but I just want to say it's not something I'm going to be doing anymore because I was taking the game way too serious, and it's something I've been guilty of from having a YouTube channel and all that. So that's my official stance on Archer hatred. Now,
Get those damn archers!
At this point in the game, everything feels to be going our way as we're leading the charge, getting lots of kills, and the team is breaching the gates relatively quickly compared to the rest of the objectives. A grueling match to this point, and now we got to free the champion, get the cranks going, and all that. This is the other part outside of the bridge that I was most worried about. Here, if I can get the cranks open and become the champion, we got a pretty good shot at winning because that's the VIP objective, and I would be the VIP, but it's going to be tough. So let's see if we can get this win. And I would like to say, if you'd like to support the channel and become a channel member, that's going to be in the pinned comment. Shout out Typer, SydnixX1, Sauce Codes, Llama, K-Money, Smile Kitchen, and Big Bro for becoming my first channel members. And if you'd like to get games, join the Discord. That one's going to be in the description, but let's see if we can get the champion free and get him to the dock. One of the most heartbreaking losses I've experienced in a pub before. Brutal. Just brutal. If you'd like to see a better Escape from Falmire game where I died a lot less as well, it's on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one.